Beginning with breaking news that's come in overnight, Dominica court has put a stay on the repatriation of fugitive Mehul Choksi from Dominica. The court will hold the next hearing in the matter at around 6 p.m. That's Indian Standard Time this evening. Choksi's lawyer had earlier said that his client was severely beaten and had several burn marks on his body. He further added that he was abducted at Jolly Harbour in Antigua and then brought to Dominica. So Choksi's lawyer claiming that Choksi hadn't left Antigua but that he was abducted from there and brought to Dominica. At this point, there's been temporary, very temporary relief for Choksi as the court has stayed his deportation, his repatriation into India. But the next hearing is at 6 p.m. this evening and Indian authorities are going to be pushing for his deportation.
And spoke with Mr. Choksi. He was obviously distressed. It took him a bit of time to get up from the floor on a mattress on which he was lying. He had several bruises about his body. His eyes was seriously swollen. His hands, his body had several marks. I asked him what had happened to him. He tells me that he had been abducted on Sunday at around 5:30 thereabout in Jolly Harbour. He says that he was on his way to have dinner with an individual, and persons who he identified based upon the sound of their voice as Indian and Antiguan police officers grabbed him, put a mask over his head, and beat him severely and placed him on a boat. The boat, he said, is a 60 to 70-foot yacht, a sailing vessel, and it beared a Dominican flag.
Let me take this across now to Anisha Mathur for more details. Anisha, good morning. Very temporary respite for Choksi from repatriation. It's a matter of hours, really, because at 6 p.m. is when the next hearing is, and there's going to be a fresh, renewed attempt to ensure that he is deported to India.
Well, yes, Akshita, the authorities are trying to get him back, but in the Dominican court, a different kind of story is being told. What his lawyers have told the Dominican court is that he was abducted from Antigua, he's been illegally detained, and that he has been beaten in custody. In fact, a habeas corpus petition was filed before the Dominican court just yesterday, as his lawyers claimed that they were not allowed to even meet with him, and that is why there was an immediate stay on his repatriation, on his deportation, and the court has also directed the authorities in Dominica to allow him to meet with his lawyers. The Indian authorities, on the other hand, of course, are going to be trying their best to get him back to India to face trial for the banking scam and other charges that he faces here. But at the moment, all eyes will be.
Apologies, we've lost that connection with Anisha. She was giving us details of really what transpired in the Dominican court. At this point, as Choksi's hired a battery of lawyers, they came together to allege that Choksi was assaulted, abducted from Antigua and brought to Dominica. The court has stayed his repatriation to India for the moment. But like I said, it's very temporary. 6 p.m. is the next hearing today.